What's up, folks? What's up? What's up? I am live. I was trying to go live on a different social media platform, but and it shall remain nameless, but they kept restricting what I was showing. And I wasn't showing nothing crazy, so I couldn't tell you why. Well, now I'm trying to find out share screen. There we go. Okay, hold on. Y'all bear with me. Chrome tab, entire screen. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the entire screen. All right. So I did a short earlier today called You Are Not Broke. And I'm talking about mental health. I'm trying to help guys' mental health, right? And these girls keep popping up all over, social medias, calling these guys broke, and these guys are self-deleting, they're getting depressed, they're just pulling away from everybody because they just don't know. You are not broke necessarily. What they mean to actually um articulate that they're doing a very poor job at, they're calling you not a high earner. Not everybody can be high earners. This microphone on? I think it is. Okay. Not everybody can be high earners. So think about it like this. If you earn $30,000 a year, we're going to do some math really quickly, right? If you earn $30,000 a year, that divided by 52 weeks, you earn $576.92 per week, right? Divide that by 40 hours, you earn $14.42. If you're 18, that ain't bad at all. That's not bad at all. My first job, I was earning $650. That was 2004. Yes, yes, I am advanced in years. So get what I'm saying. Now let's multiply that back by 40 hours a week. You get 576. Now let's multiply that by 4 weeks. Oh, darn it. It messed up. Hold on. All right. So $30,000 divided by 52 weeks times 4 equals 2307. So that means you are clocking $2,300 a month. That's what that means, right? So now let's look at all of your bills. Everything you have to pay on comes out to $1,000, right? That means you are able to save, invest, or what have you, $1,307. And you know something? That means you're not broke because your debt to income ratio is less than 50%. How do I know? Divide this by 2307. You have 56% of your money left over every single month. You're not broke. And if you don't believe me, believe the Google. So I asked Google, what debt to income ratio makes you broke? Well, it tells you a debt to income or DTI ratio over 43% is generally considered high and risky by lenders, while 50% or higher means that you're likely broke or house poor. So this young lad would be high. Okay, his DTI would be high, but only by a little. Because watch, let me do this the other way. So let's take 1,000 and divide it by 2307. 43%, but he's 43.34. So he is considered high. DTI is considered high. So what he needs to do, first of all, this is the kind of stuff he should know. So doom scrolling with your neck at the 45-degree angle, with you drooling in your eye like this. I don't know why I always do that, but that is not going to help you. But putting this kind of knowledge in your brain at 18 will help you, because what does this mean that he needs to do? Can he necessarily lower his expenses? Maybe, maybe not. If he's not paying for any subscriptions he doesn't need, if his car insurance, his car note, all of that stuff is set, maybe he can't lower um his debt every month, or his recurring debt. Maybe he could work some overtime. He work a couple over hours of overtime, he'll go right underneath that 43%. See that? And that's how this works. So now, if he's only making 30,000 a year, and that's all he hears the chick say, if you ain't making 100 grand a year, we want six figures, six pack abs, and 6 feet tall. Listen, don't listen to none of that stuff, guys. Mental health. You want to know the truth? Most guys in America, the average guy is 5'9". If you're 5'9", you are average height. If you're 5'8", you're just below average height. And if you're 5'4", who cares anyway? Stand on your wallet. Get out there and make some money. Get buff, get in the gym. This is not woe was me. And this isn't Cry Me a River either. That was a long time ago with Justin Timberlake, and that's done. It's time to do something about it. And the first thing you really need to do is stop listening to social media, because that's what's having you guys down. You guys need to cut that out, right? Stop doom scrolling. Get off of that kind of content. Stop watching that crap, because that's what's getting you down. That's what's defeating you. Remember, you're supposed to have a vision for yourself. Cleaning my phone off. I put on lotion, and the lotion's getting on the phone every time I touch the screen. But anyway, so get what I'm saying, right? You guys need to get off of that kind of content. Don't listen to these girls calling you broke. If you make $30,000 a year, you're 18, 20 years old, you're doing well. Keep going. Work some overtime, get a hard skill, develop your soft skills, try to move up. But if you are able to save $1,300 a month, you're doing it right. If you're living with mama and daddy, you're doing it right. Just keep making smart moves. But you're not poor, and you're not broke. See, poor means you're living in desolation. You're living in a dilapidated house, or you're homeless under a bridge. You do not have enough money to even have 4 safe walls from the elements and have the things that you need. That's poor. Broke means your debt to income ratio is too high. So you can be a high earner. Let's talk about the difference between wealthy and rich, or rich and wealthy. Rich is a high income. However, it is also followed by high consumption. Look at that. Meaning, if you earn 200,000 a year, you may only have 10,000 left over for the year. You're broke. You're broke. And guess what? You're not poor, because think about it. They could have a mansion that they're living in, but they're barely paying for it, but they can't do anything else. They're house poor, right? They have a mansion they're buying. Their kids in private school. They have 3 vehicles. They have subscriptions. They have gym memberships, all that stuff. And they have 5 or 10,000 left over out of $200,000 a year. Now that sounds crazy. How could you be broke? But it's called lifestyle creep. You didn't start out at 18 making $200,000 a year. No, you started making 30, right? And then and as you were going to college and whatever, you get your degree and you move up, you start buying more stuff and getting more subscriptions. And every dollar you earn, you're now spending 95 cents. Well, you're only going to have 5 cents left over. That doesn't make any sense at all. SENSE, right? So that's what I'm just trying to show you. There's a difference between being broke, being poor, and just not high earning. High earning is somebody who, let's say, earns over 100 grand a year. That's a high income, right? And it depends on where you live. Yes, there's some nuance. If you earn that in poorer parts of the states, then yes, you would be seen as a high earner. But in San Diego, California, Long Island, New York, San Francisco, Hawaii, no, you're not a high earner. Ask me how I know, because I'm from New York and I work in San Diego. I don't live in San Diego. I live an hour north. Same. I'm gonna tell you that. It ain't much different. The gas is like $8 there, and it's like $7.90 here. So, that's why I got a hybrid. No, I'm just kidding. I have a Tesla. But anyway, get what I'm saying. All right. let's get back on track. So now look, what I want to talk about is exactly that, guys. Get your mind, and this will be a quick live. Just stop watching that kind of stuff. But since we're on the topic of money, let's go over the three mindsets. There are three mindsets about money out there. There's the poor mindset that thinks money is only for paying bills and debt. And most people, because they have this mindset, they stay stuck in the state and they don't recover from it. The second mindset is the middle class mindset that thinks money is only for buying things. The wealthy mindset says that money is for making more money. Which one of these three is the worst? I'll give you a second. Now I know the whole thing, but we ain't gonna do the whole thing. All right, so listen. If you couldn't figure it out, let's use a scenario. There's an 18-year-old who has no debt, earns no money, but has his first job. Go. He gets his first paycheck. The paycheck's in his hand. He cashes the paycheck. The money's in his hand. Which one of these is the worst mindset? I'm pointing to my wrong screen. I got to remember, look at this screen. The worst mindset is the middle class mindset, because if he thinks money is only for buying things, what's he going to do? He's going to go spend all the money, and then he's going to be broke. And then what's going to happen again when he gets paid again? He's going to spend all the money. He's going to keep doing that. But then when he hits 18 and one half, his credit report starts, and then creditors or lenders start sending him credit cards. He opens 2 or 3 of those, $1,500, $2,000 limits, and he starts running those up because he's like, oh, I have an extra 1,500. I have an extra 2,000. I have an extra 1,500. So that's $3,000 plus 2. That's $5,000 in money. No, you don't. That's other people's money. That's somebody else's money. And as soon as you start swiping that stuff and you didn't budget for none of it, you're going to be in the same. Instead of making your money work for you, like number 3, the wealthy mindset, now you're going to be working for money to pay off bills. So your middle class mindset is going to make you poor. And that's how we get entangled. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. It all starts from ice cream. You might be looking at me like I'm crazy. What do you mean it all starts from ice cream? Well, when you're 3 to 5 years old, the ice cream truck comes playing that music down the street. And you know what happens? You get all excited. You say, oh, daddy, can I get $1 for the ice cream truck? And then he says, oh, sure, son, you can have a $1 for the ice cream truck. Why not? And so, okay, you give him $1 for the ice cream truck. Now, guess what happens? You just taught him that $1 buys ice cream. Now, let's say you're in the store and he says, ooh, Snickers bar. You get it for him. He sees you hand over your card or hand over your money, and he sees that, and then you get the Snickers bar. Oh, he's a little older. Video game. He sees you hand the money. He sees you get the video game. What are you teaching him? Money is for buying things. You're teaching them the middle class mindset. You're teaching them that. So now think about this. When they grow up and they only have the middle class mindset, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? It's ours. And think about what I'm saying to you and think about what I'm not saying to you. I'm not saying never buy your kid candy, never get your kid a video game, never buy your kid ice cream. I'm saying that's where it starts. Think about, you start that stuff, but think about what you never start. You never start teaching them that you can turn $1 into $2 by investing. You're never showing them, and even saving is not that great. You're never showing them how, hey, look, I'm putting $40 a week into Acorns. What is that? It's this app where when I get paid, $40 go over here. So let's do some math, right? Let's say the same $30,000 earning guy, right? Hopefully by the time you have a kid, you're not only earning this, but you never know. Let's say you are. Now watch this. So 2307. Okay. So he puts, oh, I'm sorry, that ain't right. Hold on. So $30,000 a year divided by 52 weeks. That's what he makes a week, right? So 576.92. Let's get 576.92. All right, so he's putting a seventh, roughly a seventh of his money into Acorns every week. So if you multiply that by 52, he's putting 3% of his money in a year in Acorns. And if you wanted to know the full dollar amount, well, you just do 40 times 52, 2,080 bucks. So 10% of 30,000 would be 3,000. Right? Yeah. Anyway, he's putting a percentage of his money into divided by 30,000. What is this? Yeah, 7. Almost 7%. It was the same thing. I don't know where I got the 3 from. Anyway, it's almost 7%. So that's what you can show the kid. And then you can show the kid that the interest on top of it in Acorns, your money is working for you, create more money. You show your kid your IRA, which is your 403B, if you work for the state, your 401k, your TSP, thrift savings plan, if you work for the federal government. You show the kid that, right? That's what you show them. And if you never show them that, and you always show them buying candy and all this stuff that they're asking for, then guess what happens? I tell you what happens. They get the middle class mindset, and it's your fault. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Look, folks, thank you for watching the replay, because I'm probably doing this way too late for other people, but it just hit me to do this because I keep hearing these chicks on there calling these guys broke. And I want these guys to start understanding you don't have to live up to their expectations. What expectations do you have for yourself? What expectations do your parents have for you? What vision do you have for yourself 15 years in the future? As long as you are going in that direction, you shouldn't worry about what anybody else is saying. Keep thirsty for the knowledge that matters. You can worry about what entertains you, or you can worry about the knowledge that pays you. All right, folks, have a good night.